everybody, and welcome to a new type of thing that I've actually been kind of waiting on doing, is Megaman Battle Network. Now, this is, well, okay, not the specific game, but this is one of my favorite series in the Mega Man franchise. This is not technically where I started. I started with the classic series, if you remember my Mega Man 3 Let's Play that I did about a year ago now? Kind of crazy to think about, it's already been a year. But Mega Man Battle Network is what I grew up with. I did play a couple of the classics, but I only got to play them for a little while before I was able to be reintroduced to them when I was maybe about 14. So it's really, really cool always being able to come back to this, and that these are on the Virtual Console, although only for the Wii U instead of the 3DS, which I think kinda sucks, because these were originally released on the Game Boy Advance back in 2001, but beggars can't be choosers. I would prefer them to be on the 3DS, because I think it would be more fun that way, but yeah. And one thing I am a bit curious of, though, real quick before we start this off, is, would you guys want me to play this in the smooth screening mode, or in the, like, just regular? Because this is what it'll look like with smooth screening on, and when you already seen, like, what it did look like with the pixels. I'd find it easier to play with the pixels, that's just me personally, but I'll play this first one off with the smooth screening. But if you guys want me to continue playing it with this one, or you don't care how it looks, but, you know, that's just me personally. Anyway, if you don't get up, you'll be late for school. ... PET Net News. World 3 crime on the rise. It says the World 3 plan to control the net might be starting. Sleep. You've got mail from Dad, too. Look. Sorry I couldn't get off work Sunday. I'll be home soon. Here's a present for you, it says. There's some battle chip data attached. I was just having a great dream, too. I'll expand the chip data so you can check your PET later, okay? Now, one thing that's different between this... Oh, excuse me. The thing that's different between Battle Network and just the regular, like, Mega Man games, like the classic X, ZX, Zero series, is this is more of an RPG type of game. Lan got his PET. Press start to see the chip data and read the menu. Lan got an AI navigation program, Megaman.exe. Lan, good morning. Morning, Mega Man. If you need to talk, just push the yell button. Okay, let's get to school. Lan, check your mail again. Now, we do have kind of like this basic RPG stuff. We have these power-ups called chips that we can use when we battle, but we'll get to that soon enough. Anyway, well, this we already read. And then once we go through here, we get a battle chip for Cross Gun C. And then you can also check the Mega Man menu, which shows, like, his stats. He has 100 HP, but once again, we'll get to that once we, you know, get to the little tutorial thing, but we can come here and talk to our mother. Good morning, Lan. Morning, Mom. Breakfast is on the table. You have time to eat. Yeah, and, this is probably something that you know. Lan eats a hurried breakfast. Yum. Lan found a chip under the plate. You got a recovery 10A. This is something you probably already know, but Lan, his name is a joke off of the local area network, which I honestly did not know for the longest time, but, you know. Anyway, Lan, you're late. Uh-oh. May looks grumpy. No one asked you to wait for me. Did you just say something? Come on, let's go. Why do we always have to walk to school together? Silly, because we've always got so much to talk about. She means she's got a lot to talk about, and you just listen. Quiet. So yeah, this is one of our friends in the game, Mail. Have you heard of the oven incidents? People's ovens have been spitting fire all of a sudden. I bet it's another World 3 virus on the loose. You're just imagining things. Maybe. Well, here we are. Let's get to class. And yeah, this is pretty much the school area, which, you know... Morning, Lan. Dex was looking for you. He's too big to be in elementary school, you know? Scary. Well, yeah, we've kind of got a bunch of the regular people, and this is Dex, but before we talk to him, we can come up here and talk to Yai, which is another one of our friends. You wish to ask moi, Madame Yai, herself about PET? I might as well. Curiosity is a virtue. Okay, listen up good. PET is short for Personal Terminal. It's a portable link to the net, see? Kind of like a cell phone that does a whole lot more. You could send mail, use electronic money, and read textbooks. The Navi program inside helps you if you have a problem. and you have one in your PET too. Wasn't it called Megaman? You know, the kind of ironic thing about this is I know this game came out in 2001, but our cell phones pretty much do the same thing because we can use electronic money, send text messages, and you even have Google and Siri and... Oh, okay, I thought my phone turned on for a second. Hey. But now you gotta say, hey Siri, for that to happen. But anyway, if we come over here and talk to Dex, I've been waiting for you, Lan. I challenge you to a net battle. Your wimpy Mega Man against my Guts Man. I heard that net battling isn't allowed, you know. Ah, stuff it. You sure got a big mouth for such a shrimp. We're not bothering anyone, are we, Lan? Well, I guess. Shrimp, that's no way to talk to a lady. But it looks like the bell is sounding, so we gotta deal with class. Aw, man, class is starting. After class, Lan, be there. And the reason they do this is because, well, as you'll see in just a second, let's begin class, shall we? First period is virus busting. Who's read net news? I dated said World 3 crime is on the rise. Very good, and extra marks for checking your net news. Of course, you should know that too, Lan. It's important we all know how to fight viruses. I'd like to see a World 3 virus take on me and Gutsman. Dex and his silly little Gutsman. What'd you say? Relax. Why would the World 3 bother you with you anyway, Dex? Why, you Lan. Quiet in the class. Today we'll be using the common virus called the Metul. Or Metar. I'm so used to calling them Metars, so this is probably what I'm going to call them throughout the whole thing. Jack in your PET so your net navi can access the net. Lan, she said jack in. Press the R button. Yeah. Tried pressing the button, but, you know. The only thing that kinda sucks is the first game it makes sense, and they do the same tutorial in every other game. But, well, I'm going to continue with this before I get into it, but it looks like everyone's navi is online. Okay, I'm releasing the Metul data. Now, everyone ready. But, they do this in every game, which I guess helps. So that way, like, you understand, like, how it is, because personally I started with the third game in this series, not the first one, so I am glad that they do that so that you know what you're doing. But at the same time, I really wish, at least for the second game and past it, they gave you an option to skip the tutorial in case you want to, like, just get into it and know. And, well, especially for speedrunning these games, it would help a lot. Okay, let's have a demonstration on how to delete viruses. When fighting, you must first send chip data to your navi. You should choose the chips to send in this window. Chip icons are shown at the bottom of the setup window. From here, you choose which chips you want to send to the navi. This shows the chip data you have selected. It shows the attacking rate, which is 40 power. This is the virus's hit points, HP. It shows how tough this virus is. And they also have 40 HP, so a cannon is perfect. You can normally send only one chip at a time, but you can send multiple copies of the same chip, such as 2 or 3 cannons. This will let you use more weapons and fight much better. Yes, but you're also forgetting one important thing, but, you know, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, now we'll choose which chip data to send to the navi. Select which button with A and press R to see an explanation of the chip. So yeah, if you press R, it's pretty useless because it just is a basic description, which doesn't really help, so yeah. You chose a cannon, I see. That means you can choose one more cannon. Okay, send this data to your navi and choose OK. We sent the data now, it's time to fight the virus. Now I'll explain how to fight as we actually do so. You can move your navi up, down, left, and right. You shoot with the B button, it's weak but fast. Your HP are shown at the top left. If you go down to 0 HP, your navi is deleted, so be careful. Which basically just means you get a game over. Above your navi's head is the chip data you sent. You can only use it once, so be careful. And that basic battle technique, easy, right? Miss Mari, what do you do if you've used your chips, and the virus still isn't dead? That's a good question, everyone. Look here. This is your battle gauge. It slowly fills as you fight. When it's full, press the L or R button and you can then go to the battle setup screen and choose new chips to send. Okay, let's try. Good luck. Yeah, I've played these games to death, so these viruses can't even get an attack off before they're dealt with. Good job. Let's go to the next lesson. Once I get later into the game, you're going to be seeing me, like, basically speed through a lot of stuff, so yeah, I kind of get a little bit insane once stuff gets, like, serious. Okay, now I'll tell you about support chips. Not all chips are weapons. For example, a steel chip will increase the area that your navi is able to move around in. Since you need to get close for a sword, this would be a wise strategy. Miss Mori, I thought that you can only choose chip copies. Another good question. Please look here. And yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Do you see that letter? That's the chip's code. You could choose a different type of chip as it has the same code type. Please notice Steel and Wide Sword have the same code. They're both S. For Steel and Sword? No. That's not what they're for. You can choose 2 chips at the same time now, and they're shown in the order that you choose them. This will help you plan your strategy. Okay, let's try that. Choose Steel and Wide Sword in order. Okay, next choose Wide Sword. Okay, let's send the data to the Navi. We sent the data to the Navi. Time to try out our strategy. Okay, let's review that strategy. First, we use the A button to steal. Then the virus area will shrink right down, and you will have more room to move around. Whoa! Move on to the area that you took and use the sword. This is a powerful strategy. However, be careful of the viruses. Attack when close. Good luck. Careful, everyone. So yeah, you just spam steal, jump to the front, and kill them. The only problem is this kind of leaves the one in the back that you then have to deal with, which kind of sucks because my Mega Buster only does 1 damage. Okay, let's send some data to the Navi again. Try it yourself this time. And they basically just give you like a bunch of Steels and Wide Swords, even though you technically only have 1 copy of these chips in your folder. So yeah, the tutorial will just spam these. Good job, let's go on to the next lesson. For our final lesson, we'll talk about chip adding. By using chip adding, you can increase the number of chips that you can use to make combinations for improved strategies. Look at the add screen. See the add button at the bottom right? If you select this button without choosing any chips, you will have to fight for 1 turn without chips, but on your next turn, you'll be able to select from 10. Do this twice and you'll have 15 chips to choose from. This surely gives you all the strategies you need. Okay, pop quiz. For the test, you will need to use all the techniques. I just taught you and delete the viruses. Good luck. Now, the one thing about the add button is I'm not going to use it because, like it says, it gives you more chips. But in this game, it's kind of useless because once you go in for 1 turn, you'll get 10 chips when you come back to this screen. But once you go back out, you will know exactly what chips you're going to have pop up for the next turn, and you also won't be able to use them, which kind of sucks. Now, one fun thing though is, the closer you are to your enemy, even though your Mega Buster is slow, you can actually fire it faster if you're like right next to the enemy. And I did not mean to take damage there, but hey, I'm not perfect. Although consider the fact it was a Metar, it shouldn't have been a problem, but hey. Good job, that's all for today's class. After class? Phew! Wow, today just flew by, huh? Let's go home. Okay. And now that that is done, we can actually take on Dex. Well, you got saved by the bell, but now it's time to fight my Gutsman Ross. I got the latest version yesterday. Let's do it! That's the spirit, don't be a crybaby if you lose, you hear? Now, Gutsman is our first kind of boss, but he's pretty easy. Not only with sword chips, because you can actually pull him to the front if you just stand there and he'll try to punch you. Clearly he does not want to do that now. But normally he'll just use shockwaves. This is his easiest version. He'll use shockwaves. He can crack 1 row of your panels, which makes him basically useless. Thought that's what he's gonna do, but no. I'm not dragging this fight out, because the longer you take, the worse you get for prizes. Even though I didn't get anything. Grr! You just got lucky. Today doesn't count, okay? Alright, sure, whatever. Now, I believe there's supposed to be something in one of these desks. Okay, that's not it. Come on. If you're wondering why the text is speeding by so fast, because I'm just holding down the B button, or technically the Y button, because I switched up my controls. Okay, that has nothing. I remember there being a battle chip. Maybe I'm thinking about the 2nd or 3rd game? Lan, you've got mail. Oh, might as well check it. See, power-up. Lan, this is Dad. I've made a power-up for him for Mega Man. It's a little big to send by mail, but don't worry, I'll bring it home soon. You and Mega Man make a great team. Keep it up. P.S. Don't forget whenever you're in a pinch, you can press the PET's L button to talk to Mega Man. Class notes. I forgot to mention something in class today. Chips don't run out when you use them, so use what you need. Also, press the PET's R button to call your NetNavi into the net. This is a useful trick called jacking out. Sorry for forgetting and see you in class tomorrow, Miss Mari. So yeah. Now, time for some exploration, because we're about to go on the net, or the internet area like we were in back at the school, which is kind of like your main, dungeon area, I guess you could call it. But not really. It's a big open area. You just can't get to everything right away. But eventually you open everything up. but we got a shotgun. Okay, if you come into like these little areas like the doghouse, you can find viruses, like these metars here. I can't equip both of them. Okay. Fire that off, and then just slowly taking them. Fun thing about metars is they only attack one at a time, so even if you're fighting multiple at a time, you just need to pay attention to which one's where, and you can usually use it to your advantage. And I pressed the button too quickly, but what we got was 150 money, so if you look up in the corner there, that's what I currently have. It goes by yen, so we have next to nothing, pretty much, but it's better than $0. And the reason I'm going around like these little network areas is because, like that blue mystery data you seen earlier, it allows me to get extra either battle chips, large chunks of money, depending on what you get. There are also green and purple ones, and we got more Zenny, which is what it's called in this game. And as you look at this, because before I press the time, it'll tell you how quickly you defeated the virus. If it's green, that means you did it really fast and did good, and the busting level S, that is the best you can get. So you want to keep that in mind, especially when you're fighting like bosses and whatnot, but for now there's not much going on. But we have a bit of a cutscene. Lan, welcome home. A man from Net Safety is checking our home control panel. You heard about the ovens exploding, right? That's the accident Mail was talking about this morning. Hello? We think a virus might be responsible for the incidents. We're checking every home's control panel just to be safe. I'm glad it didn't happen to us. Lan, go to your room so you won't get in the way. Let's get on the net. Yes, because this guy with a unique sprite character is totally inconspicuous. I'm making a bit of a joke here, even though this is like the first game in the series that I'm playing. But as it goes on, especially like with later incarnations, you'll notice like people that have a unique sprite are important people. Like this Navi here. Oh, Megaman. My name is Glide. I'm Lan's classmate, Yai's NetNavi. One of Yai's program has gotten lost. I'm pretty sure that it's somewhere in the net around here. I have some pressing chores to do and I must return now. Megaman, if you happen to find our program, could you please come by our network? Here, please, take this. Megaman got at Yai. If you use that in the proper place on the net, you'll be able to access Yai's portrait network. I'll be there. Oh, and if you could keep this matter to yourself, thank you. Now, this is the network area, and this first game does a horrible job at showing off like what the network area really is. We got new enemies here, and I got nothing to fight them with. Great. Yeah, this is kind of my... not really a gripe, because every game does this, but the early game I kind of hate because you've got nothing to fight with. It really just doesn't help out. And fun thing you can do with steel, if an enemy's in the way, you could trap them like that. Oh, excuse me. Especially if it's something like a metar. But yeah, this network area is pretty crap, at least compared to the later games. But because this is the first game, they didn't really have the best idea of what they were doing, because when this game was, you know, being made and all that, they weren't 100% sure of what to base it off of, because at the time of this being released, the only real popular handheld RPG, at least at the time, was Pokemon. So it's kind of based off of that, but with its own, like, twist, because, well, Mega Man and Pokemon are not at all the same thing. But, yeah, it kind of works like that, basically. And we have another new enemy, the Dash Attack. Or the Dash? I don't remember what these guys are called. But basically, they'll just dash at you, but because it's the first enemies, they're incredibly slow, and I probably should have picked up the sword to knock you out faster, but hey. And then the cannon enemies are just called Canodums. And we got a Dash D. Hopefully we can get, like, more better upgrades, because I plan on definitely grinding out. We have 500 Zenny! Cool. I definitely plan on grinding out between episodes to get, like, better stuff. World 3 pin needed to unlock. All others be gone. The World 3 pin, huh? Mega Man, let's deal with that later. So yeah, but the reason I say, like I was saying earlier, why this internet area is pretty crap is because all of the areas look exactly like this one. Even once you get to, like, later parts of the game, they don't change except for the dungeon areas are kind of the best way to put them, like where you fight bosses and whatnot. Which we'll definitely be getting into that soon, just not right now. And if you're wondering why I'm, like, jumping back and forth between panels, is because Normally trying to fire at them at a standstill doesn't work as fast. So if you jump back and forth with your buster as weak as it is right now, you can actually get off shots a few frames faster than normal, which really does help out. I also got that Megaman.exe. I'll be messing around with my folder from time to time, probably not on screen. I might do it in a second, depending on what we have after this fight. But there's a few things I want to knock out before I end this episode. And yeah, that's one thing you gotta be careful of is when you're fighting viruses, especially Mets, because of their attacks going across the bottom of the screen. You gotta watch out that you don't, like, accidentally take damage and stuff like that. And the whole random battle thing kinda sucks. Anyway, I'm a net merchant. Wanna see my wares? And it'll have some stuff that actually is very useful to us. HP memory, which will increase your health by 20. There is a total of 45 in the game, which gives you a maximum HP of 1,000 points. He also has the power-ups, which will allow us to increase either our attack power, how fast we shoot, or our charge shot. Now, I don't really have money to buy these now. I'm definitely going to be grinding up to basically purchase everything later, but I just currently can't do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But, I got nothing. The only thing is, something they added later in the games... Okay. Something they added later in the games was a run feature. If you press the L button. It doesn't work all the time, but in this game you don't have an option to run. Your only method of escape is a battle chip called escape, but if we come talk to this program... Wah! Wah! I can't find my home! Glide, come find me! Wah! Lamb, this must be the lost program. You're right, Megaman, go tell Glide. He's in Yai's portrait network, right? Okay. So now we gotta go ahead and hunt down wherever the heck that is. And a lot of these areas are pretty samey, and oh my god, okay. I don't have a problem with virus battles. I might start cutting them out. Unless we, like, encounter, like, new enemies. I might do that, but I'm gonna leave them in for this episode, so if you guys want me to leave them in, or start, like, cutting them out, that's no problem. I don't really have an issue with that either way. But if we come down over here, we can get to Yai's portrait, and oh my gosh. Okay, we do have an escape option, but I also have a quick kill on this guy, and I kind of want the items. Even if, this is just me personally, but even if I do have an escape option from a virus, even in the later games... Ooh, Shockwave Cave, that could be useful. It looks like a connection to another terminal. Megaman, access at Yai. It connects to the terminal. This is just me personally, but even if you have a method of escape, I recommend taking on every virus unless you can't make it through the fight or, like, really low on health. I recommend just fighting everything because the more you can get battle chips and more items, the better off you'll be, and it'll help you out much, like a lot in the long run, so trust me on that if you decide to play this game yourself. Megaman bookmark Yai's portrait. You can now freely enter here. Ah, you found our program. Where is it? Okay, got it. Thank you. Please take this as a reward. And we got Spreader Eye. Hey, cool, man. Let's go see if Mom finished making us a snack. Well, there is a little bit we could do around here, because there's a couple more items that I want to collect, but I think after that it'd be a good idea to call it an episode, and I don't like you, you cano-dums! Also, a fun thing is in the later games they also tell you, like, what the enemies are when you get into the fight, which is kind of nice, and ooh, a cannon bee. But we can also collect this here, cover 30L, and I think there might be more, but I'm not sure about that right now, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, actually, I will fight you. Take those, and let you come to me, then I can quickly kill you. Now, I will be buying out the net merchant. Not completely, I'm not going to be buying all, like, the crappy gear, but I am going to see, like, what I can buy from him and try to get as much zenny off of virus battles as I can. Just kind of going in and out of the net. So, I'm going to be doing that in between the episodes, just to try and get, like, more, so I can buy those upgrades. But for now, I think that's all we're going to be doing for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode when we continue with the story. So until then, later!